is underway for a man accused in a deadly hit and run that took the life of a beloved University Heights bartender back in 2023. It's our top story on the 4. I'm Heather Myers.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. CBS 8's Kelly Hessedall joins us live from the downtown courthouse with what's happened so far today. Kelly.
That's right, and 38-year-old Brandon Janik faces a first-degree murder charge. Prosecutors say he already had a DUI on his record when he hit the victim. So today we heard from a number of witnesses, including a woman who testified she went on a Tinder date with Janik the day of the crash.
By the time that Mr. Janik left, were you paying close attention to him and his sobriety?
No, I didn't even notice he left at first.
Would it be fair to say this is not one of your favorite dates?
Yeah, sure.
What kind of cocktails do you drink?
And here is some new video of the defendant, Brandon Janik, in the courtroom, seated next to his defense attorney. Now, the woman you just heard from told the jury she didn't want to testify because she doesn't remember much about that day. It was a year and a half ago. She was drinking. She says they went to at least 2 different bars, they had drinks, and that Janik drove them to the second bar in his BMW. She doesn't remember when he left. Today, we also heard from a good Samaritan named Cody Johnson and her boyfriend. They saw a BMW parked in the middle of University Avenue near Park about 8:30 that night back in June of 2023. Cars were honking and swerving to avoid hitting it. Inside the BMW, they found a man later identified by investigators as Janik slumped over in the driver's seat. His speech was slurred. They helped him out of the car, called 911. Johnson testified Janik told them something disturbing.
He kind of mentioned as he got out of the vehicle, like, thank you, I've had a DUI in the past. Really appreciate it. Basically, that we were helping him get out of the vehicle.
And she testified that paramedics arrived and told Janik not to drive, to get as far away from the car as possible. But prosecutors say once paramedics left, Janik got into the car and drove away, and a short time later hit the victim, 47-year-old Joshua Gilliland, as he was walking to work at the Cheers bar in University Heights. Prosecutors say Janik ran a red light and hit Gilliland as he was crossing the 3-way intersection of Normal Street and El Cajon and Park Boulevards. Gilliland was taken to the hospital where he later died. So back out here live, I can tell you there are a couple of rows filled with the victims' loved ones. I spoke to one of them off camera today, and he told me sitting through all of this has been very difficult. Heather and Carlo.
Yeah, and we're starting to get more details, Kelly, in today's hearing. It's really tough to hear that the defendant actually interacted with paramedics before then getting back into the car and driving off and then allegedly hitting and killing the victim at that point. Is it kind of fill in the gaps here? Did police never arrive at that initial scene?
Yeah, the 2 Good Samaritans who testified today said police never arrived. And, you know, I do think that that's one of the things that makes this case so difficult for the victims' loved ones. Now, we did hear from a paramedic that arrived at the scene that day. He testified that he did believe that the defendant was intoxicated. However, he said that he appeared alert and able to make decisions for himself. He says the last time he saw him, he was walking down the street on University Avenue. He believed that he was heading home. He says, you know, it's not his job to administer breathalyzers or to give sobriety tests.
A lot of people are going to have questions about that interaction and what can be done better in that situation because the results of this were tragic. Kelly Hessedall reporting live for us. Thanks, Kelly.